You're listening to How I See It, hosted by Han. You guessed it, that's me. I am here to motivate and inspire you with guests from all different industries and backgrounds. So get ready for personal stories of success, of growth, full of highs and lows, and of course, unapologetic realness. This is How I See It. Okay, you guys, I am so excited to introduce Pia Mance to the podcast. She is an Australian-born, Los Angeles-based tastemaker, creative, and of course, the iconic founder behind Mayhem. I'm wearing it today. If you're watching, you can see it. But if you don't know, it's an accessory and lifestyle brand known for its wearable statements every day. You've probably seen it on every single it girl you follow, including Hailey Bieber. Pia, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
I'm not going to lie to you. I thought that you were either going to accept the interview eventually if I kept pushing you, or you were just going to block my email. It was one or the other. You thankfully did not block my email.
I was about to say, it's a long time coming, but I feel like everyone kind of says that. So
yeah. No. I respect it because I know how busy you are. And I was like, I'm just going to keep checking in. And I was like, she's going to think I'm crazy.
That's actually a good lesson. That's the way it's done. Like the amount of accounts that I have gotten into, Selfridges, for example, we just did a huge pop-up. I had to push. So sometimes you get no 100 times before you get a yes.
I feel like there's a right way to do it, of course. But I was like, she's either going to think I'm crazy or eventually she's going to come on. And here we are.
Also, it's not that I didn't want to come.
No. Of course not. I was like, she's busy. Yeah. And then when you agreed, I was like, oh my gosh, yes. I'm so excited. So take me back. I know you were born in Australia, but walk us through how you got to LA. I know you started as a creator. I want to just kind of hear all of it.
Was born in Australia. Met my husband when I was 12.
Insane.
At a swimming pool. When I was 18, he was 19-ish. Yeah. He moved to China.
Wow.
And started a business there. We did long distance for 2 years, but I would visit him a lot. So I was go to the factories. It was super interesting. It was like an excursion kind of.
Yeah.
Go to the factories, just be immersed in that kind of culture. And then I ended up living in China with him in a area called Dongguan, which is
wow.
If someone's from China listening, they'd be like, wait, you lived in Dongguan? It's kind of crazy because it's very not a city. It's like a factory.
For someone who's in fashion and manufacturing, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why they lived there, starting factories. And then from there, he had built his business and he wanted to move to London to expand that business. And my dream for my entire life was always to move to London. And I know you kind of talk about limiting beliefs and stuff, so we can get into that later. But I manifested this. I was dying to move to London since age 15.
And you were just so comfortable at 18, just leaving with him to go. I feel like that says a lot about who you are as a person too and your confidence.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I didn't move there when I was 18, but we did long distance and I was comfortable of being yep, I'm holding on and I'll go and visit. And then at 20, we moved to London and we lived there for 5 and a bit years. And it is kind of crazy. I once had a friend say to me, in a nice way, I guess, she was in the best way, I'm kind of jealous of your life. You get to live overseas, you get to travel. But at the same time, I would never have moved to China. I would never have done long distance for 2.5 years. I just wouldn't have made that commitment at that young of an age. So your hard work paid off kind of.
So this was your one and only boyfriend. You met him at 12.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. And now you guys have been married for how long?
5 years this year.
Wow.
It's just funny because you're how did you start? And I'm so me and my boyfriend, I have to inject him in the story to explain my life, but it kind of makes sense.
And he owns Naked Wolf, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah. So cool.
I have been listening, and he works with his family. So I've been eavesdropping, listening, just absorbing all of this information for years. I was also modeling in Australia. I was always on set with a creative director, a founder, whatever, and just absorbing and listening, or kind of we'd shoot a sample and they'd be we have to pin it because this isn't a production sample. This isn't a final sample. You just hear these tiny little things. That's how I've learned about all of these things.
Wow.
So then we moved to London. I was doing modeling, but I wasn't a successful model. I was barely making ends meet. Luckily I had my boyfriend / then husband. I'd have to save up to get my nails done kind of thing.
Yeah.
I didn't pay rent. So I have to put that out there because he covered that.
But you're pretty young at this point.
Yeah, 21, 22. And was modeling. And then at 24, when COVID hit, I started doing modeling at home jobs because it was COVID.
Yeah.
And then from there, it picked up and I became that was my full-time job as a creator. we then decided to move to LA in 2022, 2 years later. I was doing a little bit of TikToks and stuff when I moved here, and then I started Heaven Mayhem 6 months after.
Wow. One of my questions was like, were you like always entrepreneurial, or did you get that from your parents? But it sounds like you got it from like watching your boyfriend's family.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like I was always entrepreneurial, and I've always had such a strong work ethic. Like I will stay up so late to like be finding new IKEA drawers that I think would be good for the house because, you know, like I'm not like a lazy when it comes to work, but I guess I wasn't applying my quote hard work in the right ways for so long. But yeah, I just was always entrepreneurial. I would like listen to his family speak and be like, oh, what about this? You should do this or something. But I didn't really have a leg to stand on. Yeah. What would I know?
Yeah. It's interesting you say that. I actually feel like I saw that in my own journey as well. How old are you, Pia?
29.
Okay, we're like the same age. I'm 28. I felt like always like very hardworking, super strategic. Like I really like when I put my head down, like I grind and I still am like that. But I think because I wasn't super aligned with my purpose when I was younger, I didn't really apply the work that I had and I knew I had. And I think it kind of took me realizing what I could offer other people, what I wanted to say, what was important to me. Do you feel the same way? Because you were a creator. Where was the switch where you were like, I want to be more than just a creator. Like I have more skill sets than just like shooting content.
Yeah, I think I kind of always felt like that. Like I kind of wanted to do something big.
Yeah.
Have you ever done your human design?
No, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, I feel like you have to do it because it sounds like you're a generator. Like it sounds like
everyone says that to me.
Yeah, and I am too. Like once you found the thing you like, it's like you never work a day in your life. You can hustle. But then like when there's something you don't really like, you're like, no, I don't really want to do it. No. So it's kind of like me. Yeah, I just wanted something more. Like that's honestly why I started Heaven Mayhem is I wanted something more in my life. I wanted to have a brand. There were so many things that I looked at other brands. Like I love branding. I first found out about Say Beauty when I was living in London. I listened to all the podcasts with the founder. I loved the packaging. I loved, for example, on their website, because the brand is called Say, the email is Say Hello.
Cute.
And it's spelled, and like these things I noticed, you know, and I was like, oh, I'm going to do something like that with my brand. I remember Realization Pa's email is like, talk to me, baby, at Realization Pa. All these things I noticed. I'm like so interested in that. So I did always want to have something for myself. And then it wasn't until we moved here and I was like, okay, I had the idea of Heaven Mayhem before we moved here. But then once we moved here, it's like, that's the Heaven Mayhem you see today.
Yeah, you're like, it's calling, I'm doing it. We're very similar in that way. I feel like I really appreciate branding and marketing that way. And I try to do it with the podcast and my own socials and our clients with the agency, because I have a social agency based in San Diego too, where like I want to create a feeling. And I think those types of things do create feeling and they resonate with people. And I think it's something you do fabulously, like the way you've built the brand and seeded certain things. What is something that you like seeded from the very beginning? Like for instance, for me, it's like I from the very beginning, even as a creator, branded myself with the word unapologetic. I tried to like use it in my verbiage all the time because I knew it was going to be a part of the mission eventually, the podcast. I've like labeled myself as like a blazer person because I know I want to drop a line eventually, and I'm like seeding that. What are some things like you seeded on purpose?
I didn't seed anything on purpose before launching, and I launched so small. So like I launched with 20 pieces that I handmade, one-offs, not like 20 SKUs, one-offs, and I didn't seed anything. I think as time has gone on, now we'll seed for like products, or we always seed like vintage inspired or capsule wardrobe pieces, wear them again and again, that kind of stuff. We try and make the essence of Heaven Mayhem. But before I launched, I started so small, which I feel like my story sounds like just like one of those stories you hear, like started in your garage vibes, but it actually is all true how I started. And that's why I like talking about it, because we'd moved to LA, we'd bought a house, I drove a nice car, yet I was still happy to start a brand with $900 and handmade necklaces on my bedroom floor. And I think that's a good lesson, because sometimes, you know, there's definitely those people who start in their college room, but then there's other people who are like almost too embarrassed to start because they don't want to start so scrappy. But I did, and it's worked out for me. So like, that's why I like to tell the story.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the soundbite I've seen the most of you. Like I had $900, started on the floor. Also, like where did the name for Heaven Mayhem come from?
Okay, so the name came from, firstly, it is so hard to find a name. It's really difficult just because there's so many things trademark, there's so many things on the Instagram handle, so it is hard. So I just wrote down a bunch of words that I liked, millions and millions, whatever, not millions, but like so many, put pairings together, and I liked the name Heaven and Mayhem together because I personally felt like, and this name came up when I was in London, this is when I decided the name, when I felt like kind of a mess, like my hair's messy, I'm in a shit outfit, if I add jewelry, it's heaven. That was kind of like the essence, and it still is. For example, you would never have those earrings in at home. Like you put those on right before you're about to leave and you show the world like, I'm ready for the day because I've got jewelry on, means you're showing up for the world. So that's kind of like the essence. Like you can turn from mayhem to heaven just by adding these pieces.
I love that. That's so cool.
That's the name. And then the $900. So we'd moved to LA. Like I said, we bought the house. I was spending a lot of my time like ordering the couch, getting the plumber in, doing our social security, all of these life admin you have to do. And then I decided, no, I am going to like do this brand properly. I had already like dipped my toe in and I was like, no, I am going to do it properly. I'd moved to the US. I don't have any money to funnel into it. I would have to start everything here, LLC, trademark here, all these things. So I didn't even get an LLC. I bought a Canva subscription. I bought a Shopify subscription for $30 a month at like the lowest you can get at Shopify. And then I bought my suede cord from Jones and from Amazon. I bought my fabric scissors from Amazon and I went downtown. I went to flea markets and I went on eBay and found pendants and then hand tied them.
I have to tell you, I was trying to find it for the interview today because I bought it.
You bought one?
I bought one.
No way.
I have the suede. It ties in the back.
Yes.
And it's the gold circle.
Yes.
Yeah. And I still have it. And I was like, fuck, why can I not find it? My house is a disaster. Because I wanted to wear it so badly for our interview.
The black mini is still a bestseller. And it's such a good necklace.
No, it is. It's
like,
really cute.
With a strapless top and that necklace, it's so hard to explain. I feel like it sounds so cringe, but like my heart kind of skips a beat. Like it looks amazing.
Yeah.
So that was the first product that really took off. And then, so I had my $900, got these pendants, launched a collection of 20. I made 5 sold out straight away. I had it on a Heaven Mayhem Instagram. I didn't post on my personal, like I tagged on my personal. I didn't say it was mine.
And why did you do that?
I wanted to kind of like say that it was mine once I was proud of the product. I wanted it to be like proof of concept by itself. I didn't want it to be like popular because of me. I also didn't really think I would have much of a sway. Like I was like, who the fuck cares what I'm doing? And then I just kind of wanted it to stand on its own 2 feet, which I feel like it does. It definitely does. Like I was in Selfridges and there was a customer in there asking about it. And I was like, oh, you know, it's a natural stone. It can vary. And she turned to me and she's like, are you like from their product team or something? And I was like, yeah, I am. Like people have no idea sometimes, which is really nice.
Yeah.
I started with my 20 pieces, made 5 sold out. If someone liked it, I'd get 3 likes on a photo. If someone liked it, I'd message them, hi, so you like this post, you interested? Like I was like hustling for a sale.
I love it.
Drop 2, drop 3. And then I got my hands on the stock, which was the Black Mini. The Black Mini actually came about by accident because first we had the Black Maxi. And then I was like, hey, do you guys have any more? It was like a dead stock trims place. And they're like, yes, we have a box of like a couple of hundred. I'm like, I'll take it. And it arrived and it was the mini version. And I was like, are you fucking serious? Like, life's over.
Wow.
Business is down the drain. I can't return it either. So I'm just going to have to try release it and see what happens. That ended up being the bestseller.
Wow.
I was doing like cool content on a digital camera I bought for $30 on eBay, on a VHS camera I bought for like same price on eBay, and doing all my own ads. And then like they were just really hitting. A lot of people talk about like cost per acquisition with Meta, but like right now we're paying about $27 to $35 per cost per acquisition. At that time I was paying $2.80.
Wow.
Which is like unheard of. Like
Yeah.
I'd get on calls with ads agencies like men and they're like, sorry, like if this is real, you don't need us. I'm like, it is real. Well, you don't fucking believe me?
I love this part of your story because I think that a lot of people think that they can't launch like their dream or their business or the brand because they don't have investors and they don't have money. And you did it with $900 and you hustled the fuck out of it. I think it's about maybe like fear keeping people back, or like they don't believe that they're capable to do what you just did. What was the mindset there? Did you just like naturally have like this audacity, or was it something that like you were just kind of like, I really want to do this and then I'm going to just like roll with the punches?
The $900 I want to address because I agree. Like people, it's kind of crazy that it started with $900, but I like do need a caveat. Like I said at the start, I had a house. I had a husband who can pay for my food if I have no money, you know? So I just had, I had no fear because I literally had nothing to lose except this $900.
Yeah.
I had nothing to lose because my face wasn't attached to it. But it wasn't because I had nothing to lose. I just feel like, what is the worst that can happen? Like in every single situation, I always go, what is the actually worst? And like, even if the worst is like kind of bad, it's like, that's not that deep.
Yeah, well, and I think you're really real for like obviously acknowledging like the situation you were in. But I think the reality is that like you didn't need to like fall in those things. And it's not like anyone that didn't have like a husband, house, or whatever would have to quit their job to do what you did too. Like they could have done it at the same time. And I think people just don't think that it's possible.
Yeah.
Or they don't have like a solid strategy to keep going in the beginning stages. So you sell out, you put all the money back in, you sell out again. What were some of the things to get it to like keep going and like mentally also, but logistically?
Mentally, I could never give up.
Yeah.
I'm not wired that way. I will say there is some mentally hard days where I'm like, oh my God, bad thing after bad thing after bad thing, like fuck my life. But usually it's fine. But then I think logistically, you just have to like keep it going. So it would sell out. I put it back into the business, but I'm like, what can we do next? How can we make it different? Let's change the color of the cord. Like we have a bestseller right now, Black Mini. So all I had to do was buy different colors. I did in like pink, orange, yellow, and blue. They were my summer colors, but I'm just like tiny reinventing the wheel, like listening to the data and then doing it. Just small things like that, always trying to add in something better and better and better.
Yeah.
And still to this day, we launched book boxes. They did so well. We launched new styles. We changed the inside. We make this better. We make that lighter. Whatever we do, like we're always innovating. So I feel like logistically, you just have to see what does well and then like keep going.
I love that you're talking about this because I think a lot of people, especially founders or people who are passionate about their business, they're very like controlling and very strict about not letting their dream evolve or like the brand evolve. And it seems like you guys really listen to your consumer.
Yeah.
Has there been anything where you were like, I'm going to do this, and then it like didn't do well, or there was an idea you had and you're like, oh, but they want this?
We launched our Icon watch in July last year, and then we launched our newer watch in July this year, which is the one I'm wearing. I personally love this one way more. This launch didn't go as well as last year. I'm kind of fine with that because I'm like, that's fine. People will get used to it. Or brooches, actually. Brooches kind of flopped. And I thought this is the coolest thing ever because I'm like, we're literally reinventing what your grandma wears. Like we called it Brooches Got a New PR Agent. It's Heaven Mayhem.
Yeah.
It didn't do as well as we thought. Like we've now sold out of them, but it took like a year to sell through all of our stock. But I'm still down to do it because it's like something new and interesting. And I still have people come.
Yeah. And you're passionate about it. It's a part of your style.
Something I'll say is, like 5 minutes ago when you were saying like, oh, I'm a perfectionist with the audio is like, I am a perfectionist, but also I'm not really. Like I'm down to release a product. Not that it's not perfect. It's perfect at that time, but like there's always room for improvement later. Do you know what I mean? So like I'm a perfectionist in that I'll keep going to make it better, but like I'm down to see if you like it the way it is first.
You're right. I think I'm not actually a perfectionist. I think that I am very anal about quality.
Yeah.
Because if my name is on it or my brand is on it, it needs to be to the highest level.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely someone that has the longest to-do list possible, that if I was a perfectionist about everything, nothing would get done. I almost think that people use perfectionism or like control or like hyper focus on something so like minute to like almost distract themselves or like almost
like
delay.
Excuse.
Yeah. And it's an excuse almost from like actually getting you to execute and do something.
I have so many people always say to me like, oh, I want it to be perfect. And like, I always say like, done is better than perfect. Just fucking do it. Get it out there, get it done. Just have it out there and then you can make it perfect.
People ask me all the time because I'm the same way. I'm very much like execute after execute after execute. And people are like, so impressive that you're able to like execute so much. And I'm thankful for the compliment, but they always ask me how and like how they can do it too. And I have a hard time answering the question because I can't figure out if it's something that's just like innate personality or if it's like something that I actually have like learned and developed over time. What would you say it is for you?
It's innate personality. Almost when people ask me this in my head, I'm all kind of like, I'm sorry, I don't think you have what it takes if you're asking that question. I mean, I'm sure you can train it in, but I'm just like, huh? Just do it. Like, what? I'm confused.
I think you have to build proof almost a little bit. Like, I think in the beginning, of course, like I'm human. Like, of course, I'm going to have imposter syndrome and be scared. But I've just learned over time, like the longer I stay in fear and like ruminate in it, the harder it is to like do things. So if like it pops up for a second, I'll feel it for a second and then just like put her in the back seat because I'm like, I got to keep going. I'll figure it out later.
I also feel like people don't really care that much. Like I don't know what you could possibly feel imposter syndrome about, but like, I guarantee you no one's ever walked in this podcast room and is like, she shouldn't be here. Like, as if no one would ever say that.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just like in our heads and if it's not in our head, it's not in anyone else's.
If anything, I actually think that people think I'm bigger than I am.
Yeah.
Because of the way I act and because of the way I walk into a room and because of the audacity I have to reach out to you 5 times in a row and like get all these big guests on. People be like, how did you get them? How did you get that person? It's like, I asked a lot and I like held myself confidently, explained to them why they should want to be on it. People, they don't think they can. We're holding ourselves back. That's it.
For sure. Holding ourselves back. And I think it's kind of easy to like just do it if you just do it and it works out, and then you just do it and it works out. But if you're just doing it and it keeps not working out straight away, like I can understand that that's like a bit of a blow, but I think you just have to keep going.
Yeah. And I think if that happens, it's like, okay, something you're doing is not right. Pivot.
Yeah.
Pivot.
Yeah.
Because I do think when one good thing happens, you're like, okay, proof of concept, next. And then you're like, okay, something else good happened. And then if it doesn't work out the next time, you're like, okay, I'm doing something wrong because the last 2 times worked.
Yeah.
You have to have a lot of, I think, mental resilience. And I say it all the time, entrepreneurship is a mental health journey in itself for sure. I think that anything that you have not worked through will pop up. Was there anything that popped up for you, especially like in the beginning and on the day-to-day? Like entrepreneurship is hard. Is there anything that you kind of have to like put hush hush in the back?
Kind of. If I get a DM like, hey, this broke, or like, hey, I'm really upset because it didn't ship on time, and I like feel that.
Yeah.
I feel really bad, or I feel like almost like, oh my God, are they like mad at me? You know?
Yeah.
So I think it's that. It's like fear of being liked, but not really. It's like, it's something that I'm like, oh no, that I feel so terrible. So that's probably what I have to work through.
You're emotionally tied to the brand.
For sure. Whereas
that's what it is.
I would tell my husband and he'll be like, so there's a shipping issue.
You're like, this is my heart.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm just super upset. I'm super anxious this morning because like this girl didn't get her package, or like this influencer said that, I don't know, I don't know what it could be. And he's like, yeah, who cares? Like, for example, if someone was doing their makeup on TikTok and they were like, I don't use this lip liner anymore because like I feel like it's kind of shit quality and I've moved on to this. Like, I'm just watching this video, I wouldn't think anything of it. But then when it's your brand, it like cuts so deep. But
totally,
it's just such a throwaway comment that like people probably don't even really mean.
Totally. I think when you're so emotionally tied to your business and what you do and it means so much to you, it's really hard to separate like personal and the brand and business.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people talk about balance in regard to like time and like your personal life, but I actually think it's really more hard to balance your emotions around your business and like your personal life. How have you started to do that?
I usually will say something, like not to them, but like to someone else, like in my office or my husband, like, I'm really upset because someone said that the sunglasses were too heavy and they didn't like them. And then he'll be like, okay, that's that.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, yeah, that's that. Like, I just have to get it out.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep it in my brain. I have to say it. I also love journaling and just like these tiny little things that could bother me. And it's funny, like once you get it out, it's actually like kind of diminishes.
Oh my gosh. Whenever I journal, I'm more of like a typer journal.
Yeah.
And I'll like be venting and super emo about something. I'm just having like a really bad mental health day. And I'll read it, and then you read it on the paper and you're like, that is so embarrassing that I am so hurt by this. That is so stupid.
Yeah.
And I can feel like I'm pretty self-aware, so I can look at it and I'm like, okay, like I know what this is about. Like someone said something mean about my face and I'm like taking it so personally.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, this is because of like this childhood when like I'm fine. Like this is stupid.
Yeah. You're almost like looking at it from a third person now. And like the issue is down here and you're like looking at it from above being like, damn, that's pretty small, or like actually that's kind of funny when you or something like that. Like some of my journal entries, I remember once my friend read me a journal entry and like I hate to laugh, but we were laughing about it and it was like so dark, but like it was just so funny because we were just like in hysterics because we were like, this is hilarious that you even felt like this. Like it was such a blip, you know?
Life is like full of dualities. And I try to remind myself of that in like really dark moments because I do have like a history with mental health. I do really struggle and I've really come a long way. But I think like even recently I've just reached I reached burnout. When you reach burnout, you can't like initiate mental health tools as well.
Yeah.
So I was like so fucking tired. I was like low-key suicidal. Like I was unwell. I just was not doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And I like took time off. I was just so dark and on the like cliff. And then this week I took time off, had a therapy sesh, journaled, let myself just feel.
Yeah, like go through it.
I'm having like such a good week this week. I feel so much better. I feel so much lighter. I feel rested. I feel like I addressed some of the shit that was popping up. And I'm like looking at myself like, this is a good reminder. Like you can feel like this for a week, 2 weeks, and it's awful. And then the next week, everything can be going right.
Exactly. If this is a small, minute example of that, is like I had kind of bad skin for a while. It wasn't bad, but it was like bumpy. And then I would remember like a couple of weeks ago, I'm looking in the mirror like, I'm so happy with how far my skin's come. Like I feel amazing now. And then I did have like a week of bad skin, like huge pimples. And I'm like, I feel terrible again. But I remember I can have good skin. And I felt so confident with that. Like, and now I'm back to having good skin.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I feel that way with my body sometimes too. Like I'll look in the mirror and be like, wow, I like the Pilates is paying off. I'm like tan. I feel good. I'm freshly sprayed. And then 2 weeks later, I'm like, ugh, like talking so badly at myself in the mirror. And I think especially when you post online a lot and you're like always on, you can like kind of look back and see and compare.
Yeah.
And so I think even for me, looking back at old photos, being like, oh my God, I remember that morning thinking I looked so bad. And now I'm looking at it and I look great. And it's just that reminder anytime now that I feel bad or something is going wrong, whether it's mental health, body, skin, business, there's duality. There's always duality. Like this is normal. And I think sometimes we over dramatize things in our head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, tell the Hailey Bieber story for people who haven't heard it because it's so iconic.
Okay.
You're building, you're growing. I was there from the beginning. So to me, I feel like it was like big from the very beginning. But I'm sure to you, it was like, okay, we're growing. But it's like
we were like hustling.
We were hustling. And then Hailey Bieber wears the product and I feel like it skyrockets.
Yes.
Or was her friend first?
Yeah, her friend wore it. And then I saw them at a coffee shop and I just had this like newfound kind of confidence. And I just went up to her friend and was like, hey, thanks for wearing it. I'd love to give you some more. And then Hailey was like, oh, that's so cute. And I was like, well, I'd love to give you some. And I mean, I feel like I've told this story 100 times. And I feel kind of
like,
bad.
I don't care. Like, tell it again.
Stop getting clout from me. And then she wore our like iconic mini knot earrings and they continued to sell really well. The thing is it's not as if she wore it and our product sold out or the brand just skyrocketed. But over time, I noticed like exactly how you've said it. People be like, Hailey's worn your brand. And I'm like, oh yeah, that was 2 years ago. Literally, it was 2 years ago around today. But people still remember and like think of us for that. So that kind of like trickled down, which has been really amazingly and helpful. And I think even if it doesn't drive sales, it drives this like credibility.
Yes, it's like people could look at this and be like, it's luck. I have a pet peeve about this. I hate when people are like, it's luck. It was lucky. Because I think there's privilege, of course, but I don't know if I believe in luck because I think you have to hustle, grind, show up every single day. And when one of those moments happens, it's more like divine and a payoff of the work you put in every day. And I think you had a choice in that moment. Like, I think a lot of people wouldn't have walked up.
Oh, no way. No way. I think, I had a choice. And I think it was probably lucky that I was there, right time, right place. But I moved to LA. That wasn't lucky. That was like effort. Or I guess it was lucky. Loads of people
I don't believe in luck in that way, though. It's like it was more divine. Like it was lined up for you because of the effort you were putting in every day and hustling to like get these sales and put yourself in front of these people.
I'm so grateful that Hailey wore our product and she still wears it now and then. Sometimes we see her in it. And she was like, when I say the nicest person ever, like such a sweetie. You could really tell that she's like such a supporter and kind person, but I don't think that she is the reason this brand is successful. I feel like if someone's like, oh, it's just luck that Hailey Bieber wore her brand and it blew up. Like, I don't think that that's the
I think it was just a really good stamp of approval.
Exactly.
It was super good.
Loads of people say to me, so like, how did you grow? And it's like, we started with these products. I told you the Facebook ads were doing well. We had Hailey wear it. We had loads of celebrities wear it. When I first moved here, I would go to events like Summer Fridays. Mariana Hewitt would tag me. I started like going in some circles with influencers. I went to Camp Poosh for Coachella. I gifted it to some of the girls there. They posted it, like Kensington was there, a few other girls. These tiny things, but no one like blew it up. It's not like I've made $1 million overnight from anyone, but it's like this, then Mariana, then Kensington, then Hailey, then getting on Revolve, then having a viral TikTok that I posted, then going on Skinny Confidential, then doing this podcast, then hustling and doing a daily vlog every single day on TikTok, then having good products.
Which I love, by the way. They're so good. I'm so glad you started doing it.
And just like, it's like a compounding effect. And also our community events. We do so many events. Like we are hosting an event like every 6 weeks, like a little coffee or a meet and greet or something, maybe even every month. I've
never seen anyone else do that either. I think it's so genius that you're doing it. All these brands are doing so many influencer events. And as an influencer, I love that. It's great. But like no one does events for the community. And I think we're at a place, and I feel this is very strategic on your end, to start throwing quote unquote like influencer events for just your community is genius. It's so cool.
Well, exactly. But we're like investing in that. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of effort and it's money. Like we'll say, hey girls, have 30 people and then we'll all go get a matcha. It's like $10 each. So that's money, you know?
Yeah.
But we're not making any sales. We never have sold any products at these events. And so it's just kind of like our commitment and showing like these tiny little things do help. So yeah, and we do our community Zoom and like all of these things together, I think have built the brand and like the longevity.
Yeah, I love that you're bringing that up too, because I think a lot of people don't realize how important it is to invest in these ways. I spend so much money like paying for studios like this to like make the podcast big. We're doing like a happy hour in New York. We're doing some workout classes. Like I think that you have to be smart about the money you're putting in, but I think it's worth it because it all comes back. And I think there's an ROI in community building. And even if you can't see it in dollars, in that brand awareness piece.
For sure. I think it's really hard to put a dollar value on things sometimes. We just did a huge thing in Selfridges. It was very expensive. We've had like thousands of people come and line up and go through this photo booth. I now have all these people that now know about the brand, have a little photo with the logo on it. But I don't have a dollar value to put on that. But I know that this brand awareness piece has been incredible.
Something I love about you and like what the brand is doing is that it's very obvious to me as someone who's like in this world that you're being very strategic, but it doesn't feel inauthentic. And I think it's really hard to balance those two things. How do you kind of balance like, this is a good strategy. We need to be strategic. We want people to feel this, do this. So this is why I'm saying this and doing it, while also being like, no, this is authentic. And I want people to read that and feel that.
I think it is because it is so authentic. Like we will come up with an idea in the office and it will be like everyone's so excited, or like someone else will come up with it, or I'll come up with it and explain it to them and they're like, oh my God, this is such a good idea. Like you can just feel it. Everyone's so excited. So then when we think of our rollout plan, we're like, oh, that's sick. That'll be amazing. Oh my God, community is going to love that. It's never like, and I think sometimes to my detriment, it's never like, this is going to get us more sales, so let's do this. Like if I don't love the aesthetic of it, it won't be done.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it's authentic. Yeah. We're planning our holiday campaign right now. And the stuff I have is like super out there, super editorial, like quirky, weird. Whereas I could just put a little Santa's hat and do like a cute moment with the earrings, but like that's not me. But that would probably sell for like a lot of people. They'd be like, cute, Christmas, add to cart. But like I don't think that's cool. So I'd prefer to make less money and have something that I'm really proud of than to almost like sell out.
Yeah. Now that the brand is where it is, like it's grown so much, $900 to seven-figure company. How do you like feel now when you hear it, like actually feel about like the success, about how where it is? You're not even 30 yet. Is there any like fear there that it's like happened too soon?
No.
Like how do you feel about the success of it all?
I have to remind myself. I have to journal. I journal this morning. I'm so grateful. I'm so proud. I am so proud. We're having an event tonight. I need to be present and remind myself like this is my company, this is my community. I mean, and the other people that work at Heaven Mayhem, but like, I have done this. I need to like literally pinch myself to come back to reality because honestly, I feel kind of like numb to it. Like I don't feel, I'm not scared. I'm not afraid. I'm just head down working.
Yeah.
So I need to like really enjoy and savor in like the amazing things. I will say one good thing about me is while I don't spend enough time celebrating the good, I don't dwell on the bad either.
Totally.
So like I never cry.
We're very similar. We're very similar. And someone asked me in an interview, I was asking kind of this same question and they were like, do you celebrate your wins? And I was like, I try to. And I think sometimes I'm just moving so quickly that I'm like, yes, check. Awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, check.
Amazing.
And I do think that there is a level, and I think it's a strength of like audacity that I don't think very often that I can't get things done. So when they actually come to fruition, I'm like, yep, check.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Did it, yeah.
But then I think with the burnout and the working late and the hustling and like doing all these things, it doesn't leave room to sit in gratitude. And I think being intentional about gratitude, especially as an entrepreneur, it can sound like very woo and annoying and like be grateful, but it's very necessary.
Oh, for sure. That's something I personally want to work on. Like I got Forbes 30 under 30. I didn't even do anything. Like literally nothing. I was like, oh my God, amazing, in an Uber at like 5 a.m. on my way to the airport. That was it.
Yeah.
And people would text me. I'm like, oh, thanks. But like nothing. I remember my husband took me out for dinner when I first launched the necklaces in like June 2022. too.
Oh,
And we went to Katana, or like it's on Sunset. It's like a Japanese place.
Yeah.
I've never been back. It's not that good. But I remember that dinner and like
Clip.
had a lychee martini and we cheers. He's like, oh, congrats. How amazing. And I was like, oh, thanks. And like, I'm like, that was really special. We should do that like every week. Like we should do something nice and celebratory all the time. So I feel like that would be, I need to start doing that.
I was reading this book by Brene Brown. Have you heard of her?
Yes, of course I've heard of it, but I like
great book. You should read it. It's like the title is Something Imperfections. I'll send it to you. It's so good. But she was talking about how like if we do not express gratitude, we cannot experience joy. Like they're correlated. And I really was like, okay, this is going to get me to start forcing myself to do this practice because
that's amazing.
You have to experience like the full spectrum of emotions to be able to get to joy. We have to have these low points. We have to have like the low quote unquote failures, even though I don't feel like I view anything as a failure. It doesn't seem like you do either when things go wrong.
Yeah.
But you also have to be grateful. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs are like, I can maneuver through the hardship. Like I can go through the quote unquote failures, but they don't spend a lot of time sitting in gratitude either. And I think that can block our joy sometimes as well.
For sure. My mum and I, we don't live in the same city. Obviously, she's in Australia.
Yeah.
I haven't lived at home for years and years. And because of all the time differences I've lived in, we don't pick up the phone that much. So like she'll text me and every single time she texts me something about the business, she always says like, oh my gosh, congratulations. I love the eyewear, or congrats on Selfridges, or this. Every single message says, please enjoy all of your success.
That's so sweet.
And I'm like, I need to enjoy it. Like I don't enjoy anything. I'm just like, on to the next. You know, I'm like,
I love it.
She's actually right. Like I need to sit for a moment and be like, oh, I'm super proud.
Yeah, I do that too now when I like do these days for the podcast. Like last time I was here, we did like 4 in this studio and I stayed at Chateau because I was like, I need to do this for myself. Like I have these like cool interviews set up. We've been doing so well. I'm going to stay at a place I've always wanted to stay at, have a good time by myself and just vibe. And I think it was like this feeling of like, okay, maybe I'm not good at practicing like sitting with myself. Like I'm grateful for this, but maybe that looks different for me. Maybe I can treat myself to something that's going to like show like, okay, I'm deserving of this. Like I've earned this. Like I can pay for this. And it feels good to do that.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about entrepreneurship? I think people could look at you with how cute you dress, everything that's going on. You're going to Japan. You're doing all of these things. It's very glamorous. And I'm like very, very familiar with this assumption from people that like when you post and you look good and things look great and fun, that everyone thinks you're not working very hard.
Yes.
Do you feel that people see that? Do you feel like you struggle with that? What is one of the biggest misconceptions do you feel about like you, your life, but also entrepreneurship?
A tiny bit. I feel like maybe people think I don't work, or maybe people think it's all my team, or sometimes people think it's all my husband. Like loads of people are like, oh, well, that's why it's so successful. I'm like, he fucking hasn't lifted a finger in this business. Like I'm lucky to have eavesdropped from him. But at the same time, I don't really care what people think. I kind of, I don't know how to say this without sounding crazy, but I don't care if people think I'm dumb. I almost like enjoy it. Like I'd rather get on a call and ask a couple of questions that some people like, I don't want to sound dumb. I'm like, I couldn't care less of what you think of me. I really couldn't. I almost like it. I'm like, please have a lower opinion of me so that you can be wowed by me one day instead. So I'm not worried about people thinking.
I feel like Lauren Bostic says that all the time too, how she like utilizes people thinking that she's like a dumb blonde to like get shit done and like so they don't like view her as a threat. And then she's like, yeah. And then she like shocks them after. And I think I feel the same way. Like if someone is like talking about something I don't understand, I'm not going to pretend to know what they're talking about if I don't understand.
Yeah,
like
I was on a call once, like towards the start of the business. I can't remember what he used, but it was like an e-com call. He was trying to sell me something and he was using an acronym. I'm just going to say AOV, for example, but I know what AOV means and I did. He's like, yeah, so the AOV. I'm like, hang on a second. What does AOV mean? And he goes, sorry, I don't actually know. I'm like, see, all these people throwing out all these smart things. AOV means average order value. Oh my God, for a second I was like, what does it mean? It means average order value, but that wasn't what it was about, but just for anyone listening. So the travel, I don't care if people think I'm like not working or whatever, but I do think people think it's so glam. So like what you don't see is like New York Fashion Week. I've flown in from London. I'm so jet lagged. I'm waking up at 3:45 and then I'm like, well, it's almost 4, which is the day. So I'll just start working and then I'll work till like 6:30, then I'll go to the gym, then I'll get my hair and makeup done. I'm working all night, then I'm getting home at 11, still responding to emails. Every cab is on a Slack. Everything's stressful. And I'm like barely eating, running around, blah, blah, blah. You don't see that. You don't see these like suitcases being stuffed in on like the hotel room with like thousands of Heather Mayhem boxes. You only see the like amazing, gorgeous side. So I do try and show like the other side in daily vlogs. And then also I think the thing that is glamorized is like all these things I get to do. But I'm like, the real people who have a glamorous life is like my team. I feel like they get to have this like fun job. They do fun things. They can travel and they can go home at the end of the day and won't be like stressed to like pay for someone's salary. So I'm like, that's kind of more glamorous because like you have this everyday stress and then you have these like external big pressures. I'm like, I'm paying salaries, like these big pressures on my shoulders. But apart from all of this, I actually said this when I was on Lauren's podcast too, is I see so much online. Like I have been scared to have a baby because I'm like, oh my God, everyone says it's so horrible and it looks so terrible. And that's kind of like entrepreneurship as well. Everyone's like, but like, it's really hard, isn't it? I'm like, yeah, it's really hard. But like, I hate to say it, I love my life. Like I really do. And I feel like more people should say that and more people should say that they like having a baby because I feel like everyone is like, it's so hard.
Totally. I agree with you. I think that the thing that I think is kind of a misconception is that it's for everyone.
Oh, it's so not for everyone.
Like I love what I do, but like, I don't think everyone's cut out to work till like 12, 1 a.m. every day of a week sometimes. Like I am like head down in shit all the time, but I love it. And I believe in what I'm doing to a point where when I'm miserable on those days, it doesn't faze me as much. And that pressure that you feel and that I feel in a lot of ways too, I don't have like a full staff, but like the pressure to have so many clients relying on me for things, I can let that sit there. I can like brush it off. I can move through it because I care and feel so passionately about it. If you are not mentally resilient in that way, or you don't love your job enough, or you don't love what you're doing or believe in it, you're not going to be able to hang. It's hard. There's pros and cons to entrepreneurship and corporate life.
And I will say, I love my job. I love Heather Mayhem. A lot of what I do every day, I hate doing.
Yeah.
But that is because like, I wish I could hang with the marketing girls all day and be coming up with mood boards and concepts and be on a shoot. I barely do that. It's like talking to the operations team, like figuring out tiny measurements. Oh, I've designed something, the measurement's wrong, and like this and this, and like tiny, oh, there's a leak in the office. Oh, I came into the office on a Sunday and the bathroom is literally flooded. So I'm driving home to my house to clean it up with towels and then wash the towels and then call a plumber. Like these kind of things is what fills my day often. And sometimes I'm like, you can be your own entrepreneur within a job. Like I feel like a lot of the girls who work for me kind of are like, not their own boss, but like they're like driving things forward. They're like in charge of their own career while working at a company and like really leaning into like the skills and the job that they like marketing or content creation or something. But they don't have to touch operations and finance ever.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm like, I fucking hate that, but I have to do that every day.
Totally. I think it takes discipline. You're very disciplined. And I feel like I am too. For me, I think I really utilize like mission and like what I feel called to do to keep me disciplined. What kind of discipline is required for you?
I will just say things to myself like, that's not what we do. Like I'm sitting there scrolling. I'm like, what are you doing? Like get up. And a successful person with a good routine doesn't do that. I am very disciplined. Like I have an hour. I'm like, how many things can I quickly do? I go into the office every single weekend. I come home and then I work, although I'd like to like have a bit more personal time for thinking. But it's just like a constant working. Like in every Uber, I'm like in an Uber for 40 minutes with a friend and they're like maybe scrolling or something and I'll be slacking or writing emails or something, like always on, literally always on. I never really leave things to the next day either. Like my husband, I'll be like, I have to do 5 emails when I get home. These like 5 I've started. And he's like, why? And I'm like, honestly, good point. Like why? I could do it tomorrow, but I just want to do it today because tomorrow I'm going to get 5 more important things that I have to do. And so then I don't want to have 10
It's like
tomorrow.
The worst feeling too when your to-do list starts like stacking on each other. It like causes so much anxiety, especially when you're in chaos and you're like, you have your hands in so many things. It's not fun. You have to kind of like stay up late sometimes. If you want to like go out to dinner with your husband or your boyfriend or your friend and take a break from work, you are going to probably have to go back and work at your computer.
And then I also get up super early.
I saw that. What time do you go to bed to be able to get up that early?
I go to bed at like 8:30, 9:30.
That's insane.
Yeah,
It's
it's
so
so
early.
normal to us. Like when people are like, that's so early. Like on a Sunday, sometimes we go to bed at like 6:30.
That's insane. You're just trained. You've trained yourself.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it works that you and your husband are both entrepreneurs. I think a lot of people listening would be like, oh my God, when does she have time for her husband? But it's like your husband is just as chaotic and busy as you are too.
Yeah. And like we kind of, this week, for example, I have an event tonight. Tomorrow I said to him, come to the gym with me and we'll go for a walk. Then I have an event. Then he's flying out to Chicago. He gets back Tuesday. Then he has one day. Then I leave the next day for 3 days. I get back. He'll be there for 1 day. Then he leaves for 2 weeks. In that, I'll go away for 2 weeks. We'll see each other in London for 5 days. Then we won't. It just works. We've been together for so long. We obviously sleep in the same bed. We work from the same office. We like drive to work together. We just hang out all the time.
Yeah.
So
It works. Your lifestyle's aligned.
Yeah.
I would be so mad if I didn't ask you before we left. I need some routines, like
Okay.
non-negotiable things in your schedule or in your morning and night that like make you highest version of yourself.
Well, if I was the highest version of myself, I would do all of these other things. So the thing is it's just worked out this way that I have to travel for like chunks. So I'll go somewhere, like for example, we need to go to China to do the factories. We have a wedding in Australia. We then wanted to go to Japan and he had to go to a trade show. So that ends up being a 3.5 week trip. So it's a long time from home. Or I had something with Selfridges and then I had a bachelorette. So now I'm in London 2 weeks in between, but a week either side. So I'm away for a month. So like that always happens. So then when I come back to LA and I'm in the office, I would die to like have a 2-hour morning routine. And I know I could be like the most amazing version of myself, but I kind of have to hustle while I'm here and get a lot done with everyone in the office. So I'm trying to figure out how I can best make my best routine. But right now I wake up super early. So it'll be between 5 and 5:30, I will get up, I will have a bone broth first thing, and I'll have a glass of water with electrolytes. And I've been having black seed oil as well on an empty stomach.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's really disgusting.
It's just, what does it do?
It helps. I have some thyroid problems, so it's like a supplement for that. I think it helps with inflammation, skin. I'm like,
Gotcha.
what?
Also, I ordered your bone broth because I'm obsessed with
I'm
bone broth
obsessed.
and I've never tried the brand you shared. So I ordered it the other day.
Oh,
what's the brand again?
Chroma.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to love it. So I can get to that, but I also like I've now invested in Chroma because I'm obsessed. So like I'm also starting to do that with my spare time. So I feel like now I have no personal time.
Yeah.
So then bone broth today, I journaled for like 20 minutes. I'll do a workout every morning, whether it's a walk or a Pilates or I go to a personal trainer. Something I love doing for me is getting a matcha from Verve. It actually doesn't have to be from Verve, but it has to be with the Tash pistachio milk.
Love.
And Verve's the only one that has it. So, you know, if someone else had it, I could go there too. And then I just love going for walks and like clearing my head. Oh, I like dry brushing before my shower in the morning and like moisturizing. I get ready every day. I do my makeup and like get dressed every day. Not crazy makeup. Like this makeup takes me 10 minutes, but I have to do this every day. And then in the evenings, I like wash my face and go to sleep really and have dinner. I love to sauna. Like that's like something I can add in. I like to journal. I like to walk. I kind of like to read, but I'm super bad at making myself do it. So it just depends. I'm not really a TV watcher.
I love sauna too, but I feel like I'm always spray tanned and I'm like, fuck, I don't want my tan to go away.
Yeah.
So
or like
I don't do it as much as I want
like
to.
a laser on my face or I've just done something or just got my hair washed and I'm like, can't get in today.
Also, I was listening to you talk in an interview. We use the same skincare. I'm obsessed with Jan Marini.
I'm still using the Siesta. I love Siesta. It's amazing and I love the smell. But now I'm using predominantly products from my dermatologist, Christy Kidd.
Okay.
And honestly, they've changed my skin even more than Jan Marini. I feel like I had to level up with Jan Marini and now again with Christy Kidd. I like your tattoos.
Thank you.
I didn't notice them. I've been doing loads of fake tattoos. I actually need to do more.
I have one on my neck that I feel like looks very
I love
similar.
that.
Thank you so much for coming on and just sharing everything. It's so exciting for me. I ask everyone who comes on as the last question, like looking back at everything you've been through, the ups and downs of like the journey, building the brand. There's so much more to come. But looking back, how do you see it? How do you see it all?
I see it as, I'm not going to say hard work because it's more fun than that. You know, I'm not looking back at it being like, damn, that was a slug. No, this was like the most fun I've ever had. And I'm so grateful for this experience.
Well, I think life is hard. Like life is just hard.
Yeah.
Like that's how it is. And I like to pick my hard. And I would love to like believe, enjoy, and like live for my hard as well.
Exactly. You always hear people like, marriage is hard, divorce is hard. Which one do you want? Like that kind of stuff. I'm
like,
I could say it's like such hard work and long hours, or I could be like, that was so friggin' fun.
Yeah.
Rewarding. Or rewarding is also a good word to use.
Thank you so much, Pia. Please share your socials where people can find you, and then also where people can shop Heaven Mayhem.
Okay, socials is Pia Mance on everything. Heaven Mayhem's Heaven Mayhem _ annoyingly.
Eye roll.
Then heavenmayhem.com to shop everything. We have new eyewear, we have watches, we have earrings, jewelry, we have it all.
It's all good. I own it all.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you leave here feeling motivated and inspired. Do not forget to rate and review the pod on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And don't forget to follow How I See It Pod so you can keep up with podcast updates and see who's coming on next. And if you're not already, come join the fam and follow at How Han Sees It. Thank you guys.